This is a story called I Wonder, Part 1 of 2, by Peaceful-blu, under the subreddit Short Stories. The story of how I came to be trapped is greatly misconstrued by my peers, or rather the story everyone chooses to believe. The day it happened, I was on a date with the person I knew I was going to marry, and eventually did, but it took time to truly find them again. Me and Matter, a nickname I gave him, decided to tour the city for our anniversary. It was the same old stomping ground we had walked 100 times before, having the most insane conversations about random nonsense. This time was no different, except it was. It was like walking into a hallowed cathedral, almost as if we weren't allowed to be there, but somehow gained unfettered access. At least for a time. Matter fell first. He was in front of me walking backwards as he always did. His words specifically were, "I often find I think better in reverse." And of course I laughed as I always did. It was such a strange thing to say and do, but it was also so genuine. As I smile big admiring their presence, I blink, and just like that, poof, they are gone, vanished into thin air. I kept blinking to see if they would reappear, but of course they didn't. Slowly I kept moving forward, looking everywhere, until I too fell. I felt the impact of the fall. It was a soft landing on my back, but I remembered falling forward. Strange. I don't know how long I was out for, because for some reason during the fall I lost all concept of time. It also didn't help that the blink I did upon falling lasted the entire way down? All of a sudden I'm really not sure. When I finally opened my eyes, after what felt like an eternity, I am greeted by a gigantic bush of blue roses, whose thorns are extremely soft to the touch. Curious, I say to myself, running my hand across as many thorns as possible. Such soft thorns to break my fall. Who would plant such soft flowers right where I landed? After I make my way to the edge of the bushes, I can't help tracing the perimeter and taking in all of its majesty. It's shaped like a big heart. How lovely. I'm fighting the urge to explore every part of this place. Where am I? A forest? Woods? Maybe a garden? No, I have to find Matter. He must be here somewhere. And those footprints, I wonder where they lead. Subconsciously, I begin to follow the glowing teal tracks, hoping it leads to something wonderful. The more I move through the nestle of trees, the more it feels like I'm on a scavenger hunt. Without even knowing it, something has piqued my unique sensibility of inquisition. The trail of prints keeps me entertained, as their pattern of movement seems peculiar. It almost makes me giggle as I imagine Matter walking in front of me, following the same beat. Suddenly the tracks end, leaving me lost in a place with an infinite number of possibilities. It's actually quite overwhelming. I was so entranced by the tracks I didn't notice the assortment of weird in this place. The plants themselves all seem so different, not one of them exactly like the next, as if the world I've entered hates monotony. Even the leaves of the foliage seem to be infinitely sparkling, each vying to hold my attention. "Hey," a voice calls to me from somewhere I can't see. "Hey, you're not from around, are you?" What a curious question. From around where? I ask, partially knowing what they are asking. I continue to look around for the disembodied voice. The forest, of course. I think I understand a bit, but I would like to entertain this line of questioning a little longer. "I come from just over there." I point in the general direction of whence I came. "Oh, you come from the castle, yes?" The voice drops with a hint of lost civility. "The castle?" I question. "No, from the rose bush, just yonder." "I see. How come I haven't seen you before?" they ask, still aloof and hidden. I continue to look for them to no avail. There are things born in the woods all the time you'll never see, but it is not from around here, no matter what distance away it is. "A fair point," they say with a bit of civility returning. "I'm sorry, but I like to know who I'm talking to. Where are you?" I ask. "I am where I've always been, standing right in front of you, giving direct to the wayward." There, clear as day, is a sign. It must have appeared from thin air. The most prominent signs read, Castle, Marsh, Peaks, the Dark, the Shallows, with other small signs of various names pointing in other directions. Directions, you say? In that case, what path is best to take? I wager the one behind you would yield the most adventurous undertaking. Actually, all other paths, save for one, lead to something more grandiose. The one path? I say, intrigued by the fact all but one leads to wonder. I wager even the one path will lead to a glorious undertaking. The one path leads only to the creator of the sign, a strange man who carried on once I was planted. Did he give you life? No, only purpose. The woods, this place, gave me life, the sign says. Only purpose? I ask, enthralled by the sign, who has a mind of its own. I am grateful to him for my repurpose, but it makes no difference where I stand. Is that so? Color me satisfied with your answer. May I ask your name? Strange one you are. No one has ever asked me of that in my many years. Do you not have one, Sir Scribble of Direction? I asked, joking a little. I do now, and for that I thank you. As for the direction of my repurposer, there is a sign at the very base of my pole. Could you read it for me? Sir Scribble asked. I would be honored, Sir Scribble of Direction. In the smallest of small print, yet more clear than the others, a sign that says, You found me, Curiosity's heart. Upon the last utterance, a path just narrow enough to slip through opens between the trees. May your unquiet mind be satiated by what lies beyond, Sir Scribble says, ushering me into the dark of the woods. I laugh a little. I don't think it can by anyone other than him. I can hear the trees shuffle back together behind me, securing me a safe passage. My mind runs endlessly, trying to fathom what kind of person could create such exquisite weirdness. I am consumed by the thought of them, and the possibilities of who they could be. Maybe matter, but Sir Scribble said he was set years ago. That can't be possible. How long was I falling? How long did he fall? Is he even alive? I can feel the tears welling up in my eyes as I think about him, and without realizing it, I had walked for what feels like hours, until I smelled something. Cake. The deeply wooded area had all but faded from my sight. How long had I been crying? I guess long enough for the night to fall. Madam, what happened to make you so sad? A voice resonates from the dark. The voice is so familiar and comforting, I drop my guard and answer without looking. I've lost my person. Have you seen them? Your person, you say? The voice asked. What makes them yours? I don't know. They're just mine, I respond, wiping the rest of my tears away. I look into the darkness, waiting for a response. The only thing that greets me is an unnerving smile. It floats like a ghost in shadow, but I can tell there is someone there, moving. Oh, what a curious thing that is. Does that person agree with your sentiment? The smile questions. I believe he does, I say, unyielding in my resolve. In that case, I shall help you find them, the smile says, floating closer, and then stops, as if by someone's command. Hold on, Cat, another voice says. We shall actually help this one. I like the way she answered. Thank you, I say, feeling a bit of relief. My heart begins to pound as the crunching of their footsteps says they're approaching. What may I call you? I ask, a bit flustered. They call me many things here, but the most common is Mad, the man says, emerging from the shadows. In the moonlight, their mask itself looks like a shadow. It looks like they went through great pains to conceal their identity. I wonder what their story is. Now, who is your heart's desire? They ask as they adjust their oddly colored suit. What a strange way of asking who I'm looking for. Start at the end and work your way back, they say, I assume, with a straight face. Why would I start from the end? I asked, undoubtedly distracted by the statement. Because I work better in reverse. What did he say? What did you say? My heart begins to beat, at a pace not safe for normal people. I know it's peculiar, but I prefer it. May I see your face? Mad pauses for a second. Are you really that curious? Mad asks, putting a hand to their face. Yes, I am. Please show me. They begin to remove the mask. That was a story called I Wonder, Part 1 of 2, by Peaceful-blu, under the subreddit Short Stories. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.